I'm going to put credit card stacking to bed once and for all. We're going to go A to Z, and the secret double stack method absolutely nobody's talking about. Stick around to learn how to manage it correctly. So if you've ever wondered how people walk away with 100 to 150K in 0% credit in one sitting, no revenue track record, this is the actual mechanic. A personal stack and business stack run simultaneously, but built to do two completely different jobs. So most people run both stacks the same way, and that's exactly where they leave money and FICO points on the table. This document breaks down the real mechanics, the real limits, and the real sequencing that makes it all work. So let's get fair up it. So what credit card stacking actually is. Stacking means applying for multiple cards, personal and business, inside a tight window, say 30 minutes one day, rather than spread out over months. The goal is maximum approved credit before your file reflects any of the new activity. So on the personal side, we're going to go run 4 to 5 personal cards in the same sitting. At the same time, we're going to run 4 to 5 business cards, and the outcome is 9 to 10 maximum approved credit before new activity appears on your file. So the two stacks are applied together but serve entirely different functions, and confusing those functions is the most common and costly mistake. Now, it's important. The sequencing of the double stack is going to be all about the inquiry sensitivity of each of the providers, your banking relationships, your location, all of it. So that's why it's good to understand, and why the window has to be tight. So new inquiries and new accounts take time to fully appear across every bureau and every issuer's internal check. The tighter the window between applications, the less chance issuer 3 or 4 is looking at a file that already shows issuers 1 and 2's fresh inquiries sitting on it. So inquiry lag, hard pulls don't instantly reflect across bureaus and all issuers simultaneously. There's a brief delay window to exploit. So the way we run this is you've got all tabs up, ready to pump it, and then you're hitting the apply button all within ideally 10 to 30 minutes. Each subsequent issuer sees a cleaner file the faster you move. Spreading applications over weeks eliminates this advantage entirely. So we can do this once a year with one LLC. There is a bit of a trick. You can do it if you open up extra LLCs maybe every 4 to 6 months. The goal, get approved across all cards before any single issuer can see the full picture of what you've just applied for. So the honest caveat, this is not a guaranteed loophole, and it's important to be straight about that. Some issuers pull a fresh or refreshed report right before they decide on your application, not just the one from when you hit the submit. So if that happens, a same day second or third application can still get flagged. We're running on averages here. So what the tight window does, improves your odds of getting approved across multiple applications before new activity is visible. And what it doesn't do, it does not eliminate risk entirely. Some issuers refresh reports mid-decisioning before they send the cards. So the window helps, it doesn't guarantee. The real limiters you need to know. So before you build the run order, know the throttles that exist regardless of timing. Applying without knowing issuer velocity rules is how a good stack turns into a pile of hard inquiries and no cards. So each one of these issuers, Chase, Wells Fargo, Amex, have got these rules about how many cards you can open up with them specifically. For example, Citi, 1 new card every 8 days, no more than 2 cards every 65 days across all issuers. And the risk is ignoring these velocity rules turns a well-planned stack into multiple hard inquiries with zero approvals and no backup, 0% capital for your project or your real estate investment. So the personal stack's real job, not for spending, it's for building. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. The personal stack is not there to spend on day one. Its job is to sit as your emergency 0% fund, available when needed, while doing quiet work on your FICO score in the background. So essentially, it's a passive FICO builder. So left alone, the personal stack quietly improves your score through available credit and file thickness without you touching it. If you can use it responsibly, max them out, pay them down before the reporting window each month, that's going to be great. And the discipline is the personal stack only works if you leave it alone and don't max it out over months and months in a row. Using it for everyday spend defeats this entire purpose. So how the personal stack actually builds FICO. According to my FICO, amounts owed makes up to 30% of your score, and length of credit history makes up to 15%. Adding active trade lines and available credit does two things mechanically. So while thickness it's not an official FICO terminology, but it accurately describes what happens mechanically when more active accounts are reporting on your file and are left to age. Now, the key is here, use it, pay it down responsibly each month so that we can go for these credit limits to start increasing your average credit limit, because your business stack's going to go off your personal limit, but it will only report to your EIN. According to Ramp and Doctor of Credit, cards like Chase Inc. and American Express business cards generally do not report your ongoing balance or utilization to your personal credit report. So the core advantage of all of that is you can run a business card hard, max it out for the project, high balances, active spending, and it never touches the personal utilization number that the personal stack is protecting. This matters because the business stack is where active leverage happens. Spend it, deploy it, cycle it, all without impacting your FICO score. Your personal stack is quietly building. So this separation between personal and business reporting is the entire structural advantage of running a double stack, but only if you pick the right issuers. Now, the catch no one will mention, this is not universal, and getting it wrong defeats the whole point. So according to Ramp, Capital One is the key exception, and we typically leave it out of our business stacks for this reason. Most Capital One Spark cards do report ongoing activity to your personal credit report, and utilization is going to account for about 30% of your personal FICO score. So that's going to defeat the purpose of a non-SSN reporting 0% card, because it's going to actually affect your FICO as you've maxed it out. Now, the 0% clocks run at different speeds. According to Bankrate and NerdWallet, the two stacks operate on fundamentally different timelines, and that difference shapes how you use each one. So the personal stack's going to be 18 to 21 months at 0% on those introductory periods. The long game, sit on it, protect it, let it build your score, where the business stack can be really anywhere between 9 to 18 months of 0% for most cards, with only a handful of outliers running a bit longer than that, maybe some local credit unions, which we will consider based on your location, cycle and roll forward faster. So the personal stack is your longer runway. The business stack is the one you're actively cycling and rolling forward, which is why the two stacks require completely different management strategies. Now, how the two stacks work together, let's look at this. So run correctly, one stack builds your score while the other one works. The personal stack is the foundation, the business stack is the engine, and they're designed to complement each other, not compete. And this is where people blow it. So two mistakes account for the majority of failed stacks, and both are entirely avoidable with the right setup. Mistake number one, spending personal stack, maxing it out, letting it sit there for months is going to destroy your score, and it's not going to allow you to go for those limit increases on your business side, which is all going off your personal score. Now, mistake number two, wrong business card issuer. Picking a business card from an issuer that reports ongoing activity to your personal credit undoes the entire advantage of running a business stack. Always verify reporting behavior before applying, and making sure that the stack actually matches your location, your banking relationships for the max approvals and max limits off the bat, because that's going to be the foundation and what we're actually working on. And that leads straight into limit increases throughout that introductory 12 to 18 months. So here's the real timing, not a rough guess. According to Experian, most issuers allow your first increase request around 3 months after opening, then every 6 months after that. So month 3, first manual increase request eligible at most issuers. For example, Amex, manual requests available every 3 months. And then you hit your 6-month mark where they're going to do an automatic review, typically that begins. Chase may auto review if the account is in good standing, and 6 consecutive on-time payments required for Chase manual approval. At the 6 to 12 month mark, recurring auto review cycles for Amex and Chase, manual requests eligible every 6 months for most issuers. Now, how big each increase actually is. Don't expect the ceiling to double overnight. According to Chase Focus reporting from Stack and Capital and Wallet Hub, a reasonable ask is 10 to 25% of your current limit, and keeping utilization at or below 30% at the time you ask is what gets approved. So this may be after you fix and flip, you've paid down your cards, it's been that 3 to 6 months, now you're going for a limit increase. These are the sort of limits on the chase cards, and the room to grow is real, but it happens in moderate 10 to 25% steps, not in one jump. Now, watch the hard pull. Manual limit increase requests with some issuers, chase included, can trigger a hard inquiry. So time these calls carefully within your overall sequencing and strategy. Automatic reviews are generally soft pulls, however. They do not touch your score. These happen on issuers' schedule without any action required from you. So this will happen automatically if you're using your stacks responsibly. And then manual requests can trigger the hard inquiries. As I said, never make a manual increase request the same week you're trying to get a new card approved elsewhere, a car loan, or a mortgage, that sort of thing. The timing of limit increase calls needs to sit inside your overall sequencing, not happen at random. This is one more variable that requires active tracking across both stacks. So here's the compounding math and why limit increases actually matter for the next stack. A card opens at 5 to 10K limit, for example, bump 10 to 25% every 6 months across 2 or 3 review cycles in that 12 to 18 month intro period is sitting meaningfully higher by the time a 12-month business 0% clock runs out. So initial cap, they might give you a 10K card. We bump it at the 6-month mark after the first flip, or once the business is running revenue through the till. The 12-month bump, another 10 to 25% rise, and that aggregate ceiling across the double stack is substantially higher for the next stack once your 0% expires. So this is the part that feels crazy. 10 to 20 cards, 2 stacks, 1 spreadsheet, nobody updates. 10 to 20 cards across 2 stacks sounds like a mess, and honestly, run on a spreadsheet it is. Every variable runs on its own independent schedule, so 0% expiry dates, limit increase windows, rewards and miles, and even your cashback rewards as well. So our clients actually use a software to track this now, and why every client running this stack uses cardstack.money, runs on your Apple Wallet, or you can use stackeasy.ai. That's another great company that helps with all of these dates and tracking. So one dashboard for every card across both stacks, all sitting in one place instead of 20 different app logins and a spreadsheet nobody actually keeps updated. All cards in one view, your 0% expiry tracking, limit increase windows, and rewards in one place. So here's the recap. The full double stack strategy distilled to its core mechanics. You got your personal stack, you're going to run 4 to 5 cards there. Left alone as your emergency 0% fund, paid down each month responsibly to keep your FICO high, and it quietly builds the thickness and available credit, never used for everyday spend. Your business stack, 4 to 5 cards, issuers that do not report ongoing activity to personal credit, run hard, max them out, limit increase, timed every 3 to 6 months for a 10 to 25% bump on each cycle. Do the same for the personal stack as well, because that's what your next business stack is going off, is your personal credit file, the thickness, the age. Tight application window. Both stacks applied inside a tight window. Know every issuer's velocity rules and hard pull risk before you start. They exist regardless of timing, and also where you can get approved based on your current banking relationships and location. Even consider those local credit unions and things like that. Track everything. 0% expiry dates, limit increase windows, and rewards across all cards. Managed actively, not left to a spreadsheet. Now, let's go and map your deal. This document covers the mechanics, but the right stack for your file depends on your actual credit profile, your issuers, and your goals. A generic version of this strategy is not the same as one built for your specific situation. So if you want this built out for your actual file, not a generic version of it, head over to gapfunded.com/apply and let's map it out. It's going to be a custom stack designed for you, issuer sequencing and ongoing tracking. Worst case scenario, you're walking away with a game plan on how to get prepared for this as well. I'm Mick Wadley. Let's go close something. If you found this useful, subscribe, hit that big bell below.